What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. Look, man, at some point, if somebody has a certain feeling about you in their heart, at some point it's going to come out over time in some way, one form, or fashion. And I'll get to the ways later on. But I was watching Joe Biden at the Congressional Black Conference Awards, and he was apparently addressing or trying to address LL Cool J and MC Light. I just seen the clip. I didn't know where it was going with it. But he started off by just totally screwing up LL Cool J's name. He called him Cool J, LJ Cool. He went all over the place and just destroyed the man's name, which for a leader, a president, a king, a queen, a prime minister, an ambassador, whatever you are, man, a mayor, a congressman, it's very important that you remember people's names. Um, but if you're the president of the United States and you are there specifically to address or award somebody, you look real weak and pathetic and unprofessional when you just destroy somebody's name like that. But that wasn't the biggest problem of the night. The biggest problem of the night is that when he finally fixed LL's name and said it right, he called him a boy. Yeah. Now, this isn't something that should surprise anybody because we know Joe Biden's history. At least we should. We know what he's about. We know that, like I tell y'all, um, white-haired Joe comes off as this cool, loving grandpa type of guy, and but dark-haired Joe from back in the days is a straight-up racist, plain and simple. Now, here's the thing: black-haired Joe and white-haired Joe, that's still the same Joe. He's just older now. So when he called LL a boy, he was referring to LL's arm. He said, "Oh, that boy has some big bite. I mean, that man has some big." He tried to fix it, but it was too late because what he really thought and how he really viewed LL Cool J, who was one of the most iconic, uh, pioneering rap artists of all time, very successful black man in music and business and movies and all these different endeavors um, for nearly 40 years. To mispronounce his name, but then to put the icing on the cherry on top by calling him a boy. See, the mentality has always been that way when you go back to slavery, when you go back into the Jim Crow era, um, post Reconstruction era, and all that. It did not matter how old a black man was, he's a boy. It didn't matter if the black man was older than the white man who was calling him a boy. He was still a boy. Hey, boy, what you doing on this road this time of night? You a boy. And in 2023, it doesn't matter if the black man is a successful uh, artist, businessman, mogul, politician, athlete, scientist, doctor, attorney. Still doesn't matter. You're a boy. See? So he had his moment where the slippage of the tongue revealed what was in his mind. And so what I was saying earlier, if you know, if you're around somebody or you know somebody long enough, whether it's a husband, wife, friend, family, cousin, co-worker, whatever, sooner or later, you will either get the fullness or you'll get a little glimpse of what they really think about you. See? And it happens in three ways. It happens either in anger, y'all arguing and going at it, and then they just, in anger, they just say what they want to say of something that just like, whoa, I didn't know you felt like that. I never liked your mama. Like, whoa. I didn't know you felt like that because you was around my mama smiling and all that. So, right. Or it happens in just somebody being real, just like, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, what's on my mind and how this happens like that. Or it happens by accident, slip of the tongue, because what's in the mind is at the forefront. See, as he's giving that speech, he didn't want to give that speech. He don't respect LL Cool J or MC Lyte. He's just doing president-like duties, and let me go this congressional black thing and try to load up for election season to try to, garner some more support moving into election season. You don't care nothing about no LL Cool J or no MC Lyte or no other black person for that matter. But what's in his mind, his true view of you, it always sits at the forefront. So in this particular case, he was not able to check it and catch it and flip it around, and it jumped out. The word boy just popped out like a newborn baby. And we shouldn't be surprised. We should never be surprised. I say that every single time. But I had to make this video to reinforce my belief and my I don't say my opinion, but it is my opinion. But to reinforce to you guys that it does not matter what political affiliation that these cats claim. Their view of you is still the same. I'm a poet and I did know it. So don't be mad at Joe. Thank Joe. Give Joe a shout out for letting you into his mind, because too many of us as black people, we are in denial when we see these presidents and these guys that we worship and we vote for, and we just feel like, oh, well, he's different. He's not like, he's not. Yes, he is. He is. What has he done to prove otherwise? What has he done to show you otherwise? And y'all know me. They all the same to me, And if you have a criticism of one, then the ignorant will accuse you of supporting the other. So if it's a Democrat that I go after, oh, you must be a Republican. If it's a Republican I go after, oh, you must be a Democrat. Nah, either one. Because they all feel the same. I'm a boy to the Republican just like I was a boy to the Democrat. That's just the reality of it. So I would like to see, which I don't know if the possibility of that. I would just like to see, us as black people and even the entertainers. I know they kind of in a different space because a lot of them, not saying LL and MC Lyte, but I don't know, but a lot of them have to play the game. They kind of go through these channels or whatever. But I would just like to see them just decline to even participate in anything that any of these racist politicians want to engage with them in, There's no honor to me, speaking for me. I'm not honored to be acknowledged by any president of this country. I'm not honored at all. And I know a lot of people that might be kind of controversial to some. So, man, look, man, if anybody comes and says it, because it's hard for me to accept awards and accolades under the umbrella of fakeness, under the umbrella and the cloud of racism that I know exists in their mind. You don't really feel that way about me. So I would prefer not. It's like, hey man, such wants you to come to the party, and you and him ain't never really clicked like that. Why is he inviting me to his party? So why does he want to come to my party? Nah, just don't fake it off like that. So shout out to LL, man. Shout out to MC Light. And shout out to Joe Biden, man, for giving us a reminder of who he really is. All right, this your big brother K-Rino. I'll catch y'all later on. Peace.